Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Manual. In this series of videos, myself and Avomance run through what we typically do in order to survive in this fantastic game we call Minecraft. Today is quite a big day because today I'm off to fight the Wither. Or we're both off to fight the Wither. Avo's gonna do it in his own way. I'm gonna do it in my way. And then we'll have a bit of a laugh at the end of it to see who died the most times, I guess. But before we do that, we need a couple of things. Firstly, we need 4 pieces of soul sand, which I have, and we need 3 wither skeleton skulls, which I don't have. So I'm going to have to go back into the nether, back to the nether fortress that we found a couple of episodes ago, and see if I can bag myself a couple of wither skeleton skulls. And I've just been crept up on by a creeper. So clearly this place is not lit up enough yet. Bruh. Me and creepers. So I've grabbed myself 3 fire resistance potions, and I'm going to I've been down there. I'm going to whiz into the nether now and find myself have I got my bow? Got my bow, but I've got no arrows, have I? So what's the worst can happen? The worst that can happen. Right, I'll meet you over by the nether fortress. Okay, so I've made it over to the fortress, and I've got ghasts everywhere. I've got pigmen everywhere. I've got the lights streaming through the window, so I can hardly see my monitor. This couldn't be any better, really. So now I need to get myself a couple of wither skellies. I've been fishing as well, and I've got myself a looting 3 book, which I've put on this sword. It's the only looting book I've got. I've got looting 3 on my other sword, but it's got knockback on it, and knockback just, I don't like it for various reasons. I mean, primarily because when you whack a blaze, it knocks it far enough away for it to be able to start shooting. It's the same with skeletons as well. You whack a skeleton with a knockback sword, it just allows him a chance to shoot you. And nobody likes that. So now I'm on the lookout for wither skellies. I can't see them. It's too dark. I can only think this is going to end in tears because I can't see anything. Oh, there's one. And we've got a blaze down there. The way we're going. If I don't get a wither skeleton straight away, I'm really going to be upset. Coal. Oh, come on, piggy. Got nothing against you, but you're just there, aren't you? Just there. You got anywhere you need to be? See, I wouldn't be able to do that if I had knockback because I just knocked them. Oh, I just knocked them back. Obviously, knockback. Pick up the blaze rods while I'm here, though. They'll always come in handy. Oh my word! Come on then. Come on then. Nobody likes you. Okay. Right, this is clearly going to take longer than I thought. I will, if with a bit of luck, I'll be able to catch myself killing a wither skelly. If not, then I'll see you when I've got 3 wither skelly skulls. Oh, that's fantastic. I've only had 3 or 4 skeletons, but I've managed to get myself... Oh, and I've lost my helmet. That's no good, is it? But I've got myself a wither skull. Woo! Wither skelly skull. Fantastic. I'm going to keep that on for no good reason, really. But I've managed to get one, so I've only got another couple to do. Another couple to go. Fantastic news. I've got 3 wither skelly skulls. I've got the 1 on. I've got the 2 in my inventory. I am surrounded by blaze and other bad guys. I've got ghast everywhere. But I've got a couple of... I've got some wither skelly skulls. Come on, fellas. See if I can get another one. I don't need you. I don't need him. Oh, I don't have one. Right, but I've got them. I've got what I came for, which is perfect. So I'm going to make my way back to the man cave. I need to get some more armor because I'm nearly out. I'll probably repair my pick as well while I'm doing it. Grab myself some soul sand, and then we'll make our way back into the nether, and we'll see if we can beat up the big scary wither. Okay, so I've got back in one piece. I've repaired my armor that could be repaired, and I've made myself some new armor. And I don't think I'm going to enchant it because I'm kind of cocky like that. But I need to go back to the nether now. I've got my fire resistant potions. Let's have a look what's out here. Still not lit it up enough. I'm going to go back into the nether. I need to make my way up to y equals 120-ish in the nether. I need to be below the nether roof because I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to fighting the wither, and I prefer to do it slightly easier than most people decide to do it. So let me make my way up to the top of the nether, and then I'll explain what I mean. Right, so I'm in the nether. I thought I'd just bring you back in again. What I'm doing now then is I'm having to tunnel all the way, well, let's say tunnel. I'm digging all the way up to Y120-ish or so. But because I'm digging inside of a column, and really I've got nowhere to go if lava starts to come out, and as I say, with a half decent pick, it's just so easy to dig through lava. So I've taken myself some fire breathing potion, some fire resistance potion. So what I'm doing now is digging up in sort of a spiral staircase, and hopefully I'm going to get high enough up without killing myself. Didn't expect that to happen from not concentrating. Far enough up to be able to see the roof of the nether. So that's what I'm doing now. Just sort of bring you back in and show you what level am I at. I'm currently at Y71. So I'm a little bit over halfway. Okay, so I've made it to the top, and as you can see, I've been through a little bit of lava. So fortunately, my fire resistance potion did its job. But I've made my way up to the... Now, how long have I got left on my fire breathing potion? Actually, I have 2 minutes 21 left on my potion. So that should be okay. So now I'm going to rattle through some of this netherrack at the top, and I'm looking for a specific place above the nether that's got an area of it needs to have a 3x3 area of bedrock, and it's got to be 3x3. If it's a different size, then the wither is going to be able to see through it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cram the wither's head into the bedrock. Bedrock is the only brick naturally spawning in survival Minecraft that a wither cannot break, or that nobody can break, really. So I need to be able to cram its head into the bedrock, but I can't just cram its head into one piece of bedrock because it's got 3 heads, and it also spins as well. So if we get 2 pieces of bedrock, if I got his head in those 3 pieces of bedrock there, that would be great if he's looking that way or that way. But the minute he turns around and faces that way, 2 of his heads will be sticking outside, and it's the same with the corners as well. If he's at an angle, his heads would be outside. So we need the blocks to be 3 by 3, because if any one of his heads is outside of the bedrock, then this would all end in tears. Now, fortunately, unlike the rest of the blocks generated in Minecraft, the bedrock is actually uniform. It's uniform throughout every world. So these, although they're difficult to find, they are findable. You're not going to get an area of bedrock where you won't get the 3 by 3 area of bedrock. So it's just now a case of looking. You might get really lucky, and you might stumble upon one really quickly, or you might have to do what I'm having to do now and just dig around forever and ever. Right, so I've done a bit of digging, and I think I've found the perfect space to go. Actually, I didn't realise there's not a lot underneath me. There's not a lot underneath me to... so hopefully this is going to work fine. However, I've found my 3 by 3 area that I need to spawn the wither into. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He needs to be spawned into that block there. His head needs to be going, or his middle head needs to be going into that block there. So we need the spawning platform for him to go onto to be just here. 2 block gap. Okay, so now we need to take out our soul sand. We need to put our soul sand there, there, and there. So when he grows up, he'll sort of stand up above that tail part of the bottom part of the T. If you did this further back, he'd stand up and his head, one of his heads would be there where the netherrack is. He'd be able to see me. So there, he should be fine. So now I should be able to grab my heads, and I should be able to summon the wither by putting the heads on the soul sand. You can put them on now with him lying down, double checking just to make sure. So when he stands up, he's 2 blocks underneath the bedrock. His heads will be in the bedrock. He'll be fine. I need to put the head on there and then run away while his boss bar fills up. As soon as his boss bar is filled up, he'll explode, and if I'm close enough, I'll take damage. Brilliant. So I just want to run over here until he's ready, till he stops flashing. He'll make a load of noise. There you go. He'll start taking suffocation damage, and I can just run over here and start whacking him with my sword. How easy is that? Now, the stronger your sword, if you had Smite 5 on your sword, then it would be a lot quicker. I don't have Smite 5 on my sword, therefore it's going to take as long as it takes. But in fairness, I'm not going to take any damage, and I can stand here whacking him to my heart's content. There you go, and I've got myself a star. How easy was that? That was fantastic. Super simple. No damage whatsoever. So that is how you kill the wither in the Nether. And if you want to, you can dig tunnels, you can go into ravines, you can go to the middle of the desert, you can do whatever you like to kill the guy. But he will attack anything that moves, alive or dead. He'll try and kill anything that moves. And if you die while you're fighting him, he'll just disappear off into your world. And then the minute those chunks become loaded again, he'll start killing all your animals, and he's just a nightmare. He's a nightmare. That's why he's a boss. Anyway, I've got myself a Nether Star, so we'll go back to the overworld now. I'll create a beacon. We'll keep this place up here. Sorry, I'll make myself, a nether portal. We'll keep this place up here so we can come back and use it again and again and again. Well, I made it back, but the the nether portal that I created in the nether was miles and miles away. Absolutely miles away. So I've dismantled it. Well, I dismantled it when I came through because then it was miles away. So I'll have to rethink that. But we've got ourselves a Nether Star. That bad boy there, and we're going to make ourselves a beacon. Beacons are fantastic. Can't do without beacons because they give you superpowers. So we need to find a crafting table to start with. Get yourself a crafting bench. You need to put down 3 pieces of obsidian along the bottom, and then cover it around the top with your glass, and then put your Nether Star in the middle, and ba-boom! We've got ourselves a beacon. Now we need to get this to work. Now, you can't just put this down on the floor. If you just lob that down on the floor like that, nothing happens. You can still see the interface, the GUI, but you can't do anything with it. You can't click on anything, and that's because you need blocks. You need solid blocks to go underneath it. You need a pyramid of blocks to go underneath it. So let's pick that back up again. It does make a funky noise now as well. I never used to make that noise. Now, the amount of blocks that, oh my god, the amount of blocks that you get determine what powers the beacon will give you. So if you make a pyramid of a 3x3, it's not really a pyramid, is it? But if you put down 3x3 iron blocks, doesn't have to be iron either. It can be gold, it can be emerald blocks, it can be diamond blocks. They're coming in, aren't they? So let me grab some blocks to start with. To make a fully powered beacon, you're going to need, believe it or not, 23 stacks and 4 blocks, which I have in here, and then some. So if I shift and double click all of those into my inventory, I'm gonna have to get rid of some stuff, aren't I? Don't need that pick. I'm gonna forget where that pick is. So pick all of those up. Grab my soul sand either, do I? Grab it all. So I've got it all. Now I need to turn that into blocks, and that's easy to do. And you just fill the your crafting table up with blocks, with ingots, and then you can make a solid block like that. However, if we turn our crafting bench on, our crafting book on, we can shift and click on the block on the left, and then that will automatically make us as many blocks as we can make, like that. I'm even going to make a gold and an emerald one just to show you that you don't actually need iron. Now you need a space to put this bad boy, and it has to have access to the sky, so I can't build that underground. It won't go through solid block. It will go through leaves, it will go through glass, it'll go through water, it'll even go through the end portal blocks and bedrock, but it won't go through solid blocks. So these beacons can be built in the nether and in the end, but they just can't be built underground. However, I'm going to build it underground. So I've got my area to build it under. So I need to find the center of this to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Right. So is that the middle? That's the middle, isn't it? That's the center. Brilliant. So if we make a 3x3 duper flip, ubery jobby, like that, put the beacon in the middle of it, that under normal circumstances, if there wasn't a roof over the top of it, that would work. But obviously there is a roof over the top of it, so I need to dig a hole up to the surface and hope that I'm not underwater. I don't think I'm underwater. Right, so what block am I looking at? I'm looking at -176, -108. Oh! Do not do that! Do not sneak up on people like that. That is really scary. And does that belong to you? No, I don't think it does it? Right, 176, 108. Check to make sure nothing's going to drop down on top of me. Now, as a rule, you shouldn't dig straight down. But I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to be okay. Oh! And then we've got it, our beacon, which is superb. So if we click on the GUI now, we can see that the only two powers we've got available to us at the moment are speed and haste, because we've only got one layer of blocks. We've got the one layer of blocks and then the beacon. You can't see my mouse, can you? But I'm pointing over to the left of the where it says speed. So for that particular size beacon, we can get two powers, which are no good to me. I don't want those two powers. So I'm going to turn this into a 5x5 area of solid blocks. And then I'm going to turn this into a pyramid by putting a 3x3 column on top of it. And then if we put our beacon down now, got an achievement. Fabulous. And if I look at the GUI now, the interface now, we've got speed and haste because we've got one layer. We've also now got resistance and jump boost because we've got the two layers of blocks. So resistance makes it harder for mobs to kill you. Jump boost obviously makes it easier to jump, and I love jump. I love jump when you're building. Jump 2 is just the best. But that's no good. I don't want that. I want more. So if we turn the bottom 5x5 area of blocks now into a 7x7, you can see where I'm going with this now, can't you? And then we turn the top one to a 5x5, and then we put another row on top of the pyramid that's 3x3. Do exactly the same again. Oh, no, no, no. What are you doing down here, fella? You can smell me from miles away, can't you? I'm doing a tutorial. Please. Put down a beacon now. Boom. We've now got speed and haste. We've got resistance and jump boost. We've now got strength because we've got 3 layers of blocks. And strength just gives you more strength, basically. Makes it easier for you to kill mobs. But I still haven't got... Oh, come on. Now, you can't just get these powers to work. If I were to just click on that, the power now, the strength power, it doesn't work because I need to... there's a cost for the beacon to work. And that cost is either an emerald, a diamond, an iron bar, an iron ingot, or a gold ingot, and that's the cost to get this beacon to work. It's a one-time cost, so once you've paid the cost, it will work unless you change the effects on your beacon or you change the power on your beacon. Then you'll have to pay again. But I've only got the primary powers. I don't have my secondary power, and I want my regeneration. So in order to get regeneration, you've guessed it, we need to break the beacon, and we need to put down our final row of blocks. So the bottom row now is going to be 9x9, then the one above it is going to be 7x7, and then the one above that 5x5, and the fourth row, the top row, is going to be 3x3, and that will give you your maximum full powered beacon. These things aren't cheap. However, I've got some good news about that in a second. Okay, so now we need a 3x3 beacon on top of it. I'm going to use, because you can mix and match, they don't all have to be the same block. So I'm going to use a couple of iron, I'm going to use a couple of those, I'm going to use my diamond and my emeralds. They're not going to stay there, but I'm just using them now to show you that you can use them. So diamonds and emeralds, one of those. We've got a proper mishmash of blocks. However, it still works, and I've got my Beaconator advancement, which is the advancement you get when you get a fully powered beacon. Now I can pick and choose. I like using speed around my base. Now I've got my secondary power because I've got my 4th row of blocks, so I can either have speed 2 or I can have regeneration, and this is great depending on what you're doing around your base. If you're doing nothing and you're just walking around your base, then you could probably have speed and regeneration. Regeneration it increases your hearts. If you get injured from a mob, regeneration regenerates your hearts without having to eat, so that's handy to have. If you're mining around your base and you want to mine really quickly, you'll need to get yourself a really good diamond pick that's got efficiency 5 on it, and then get yourself haste 2, and that will make that allows you to rattle through solid blocks, solid stone or stone equivalent blocks really quickly. You can't mine through cobblestone like that, and you can't mine through ores like that, but going through the normal stone brick and the andesite and the diorite and that kind of thing, when you've got haste 2, is just a piece of cake. So if you're mining, get yourself haste 2. If you're building, then get yourself jump 2, because jump 2 allows you to jump over 2 blocks high, and it's really handy. I'll always use jump 2 if I'm building. Anyway, all of this is available on the wiki, so again, check out the wiki if you want some more information about beacons. I'm going to pick myself speed and regeneration. I was going to power it. Oh, I'll power it with the diamond. No, I'm not, because I don't have diamonds. Turn one of those into iron ingots again. So speed, regeneration. Put my iron ingot in there. I'll click done. We get a little sound effect. And now, top right hand corner, you will see I've got my little speed icon and my little regeneration icon. And if I press E now and close my book, it tells me that I've got the speed and regeneration, and they start at 16 seconds and they work their way down to 0. So if you run away from the area, then eventually these powers will wear off, but they keep regenerating as long as you're within the radius of the beacon. Now, I mentioned that the beacon has got a range, and that depends on how many blocks are in your beacon. So if you've got the 3 blocks in your beacon and you've just got your basic bog standard my first beacon, the effective range is 20 blocks. So it's 20 blocks in all directions. So it's 20 blocks that way, 20 blocks that way, 20 blocks that way, 20 blocks that way, and 20 blocks down. But it will go all the way up to sky. If you've got a 2-level beacon, it goes 30 blocks. So it's 30 blocks in all directions and down, but still, again, all the way up to 256. If you've got a 3-tier beacon, it goes 40 blocks. So 40 blocks, 40 blocks, 40 blocks, 40 blocks down, and all the way up to sky. And this beacon, because it's fully powered, has got a range of 50 blocks, an effective range of 50 blocks. So that's 50 blocks in all directions and 50 blocks down and all the way up to sky. So if you can, and it's not difficult if I'm being honest, if you can, build your beacon below Y level 50, because then you'll get the effect all the way down to bedrock and all the way up to sky. If you build this at Y level 100 and then you're down at Y level 50, you won't get an effect because you'll be outside the beacon's range. Okay, so the beacon's range is north, south, east and west and down, but all the way up to sky. So build this as low down as you can. Now if you build a 9-block beacon, a 1-level beacon, the effect will last for 11 seconds. If you build a 2-level beacon down to here, then the effect's going to last for 13 seconds. If you build the 3-level beacon, it'll last for 15 seconds. And as we've already seen, building a 4-level beacon gives you an effect for 16 seconds. And as long as you're within the range of the beacon, this will just keep regenerating. So in effect, it's unlimited. Now before we go, I just want to show you another little trick you can do with... Oh my word. I was going to show you a little trick you do with a beacon. I can't let him in either, really. Because if I let you in, you're going to eat my villagers, aren't you? I'm going to go and grab myself some dye. Because at the moment, that beacon is just white. And it's pretty boring. However... if you grab a bit of dye, I was hoping I got some red dye as well. Don't think I have. Now, we're just going to have to make do with blue dye. Let me make some blue dye. And then I'll use some of the glass to make blue glass. So I've got my blue glass. Now, you can change the colour of a beacon by putting stained glass above the top of it. So if I were to put stained glass just there now, you'll have to crouch. It will change the colour of the beacon to blue, or whatever colour the glass is. So if that was red, it would be red. If it was yellow, it would be yellow. If it was green, it would be green. However, additionally, if I were to put down a red and a yellow piece of glass here, so if I put red there and then yellow above it, the beacon would be orange. It would mix the colours. So you can have an unlimited number or different colour of beacons if you so wanted. If you've got a favourite colour, you could probably make it using stained glass. I can't break that now because I don't have a silk pick. But if I go outside now and I don't get eaten, oh, come on. You're not funny. You're not big and you're not clever. Oh, I didn't want you to do that. Really didn't want you to do that. I can't run away in water either. This is... oh, look at him. Look at him. I might as well just give up. Anyway, there you go. There's the beacon. You can see it from miles and miles away. Depending on your render distance, you can see it from a long way away. And it can be any colour you want. Fantastic. Now, finally, the final thing, the bit of good news I was saving to the end. Hopefully, you've carried on watching it till the end is. As I mentioned, beacons are very expensive to make. However, if we got another beacon, another star, and made another beacon, and we wanted to make another one, we don't have to build this massive pyramid again. Fortunately, all we need to do is extend it out by 1 block. So if I were to put another 9 blocks down there, and then another 7 blocks on top of it, and then another 5 blocks on top of that, and then another 3 blocks on top of that, I could then put the beacon next to it, and that would use all of the blocks that were there already, plus the additional blocks we just put down, and that would allow you to have 2 beacons. And so you don't need a full 2 stacks and 36 block pyramid in order to make another beacon. I'm rushing the end of it now because I can hear bad guys outside. But anyway, there you go. Beacons are wonderful. Go and get one. So thank you for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And don't forget to do what I'm going to do now and go over and watch Avo and see how he tackles the Wither. I'm sure he's going to have loads of fun. So once again, thank you for watching. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.